You are such a blessing to us. Sarah and I just love having you watch our program, and we believe, we know, today you are going to get information that will totally change your life, change your future, could change your children, change your health, your wealth. Who knows what change can come out of just this one program. I'm so excited you're watching today. I'm so excited. And today you may be sitting there in pain and problems, and you said, my brain is so fuzzy from all my circumstances, I don't know if I can watch this. Well, we have a wonderful website where we take your needs and pray over them. So please take advantage of it. We don't want you to be fuzzy-brained. We want you to be clear-headed. We want to pray for you. And you say, can't get on the website. Well, pen and paper. You can write us, and we will pray for you. We are excited that God has a good plan for you. He has good things for you. He's concerned about your future. And I'm excited, Dr. Bob, that you're with us today.
Thanks for having me so much.
You are the best, and you are bringing us something about how to cleanse our body or how to detoxify your body.
That's right. Because
of all the things we're involved with, we get all of these toxins which cause so many buckets of problems. But you are saying we can detoxify the body. That's awesome.
Well, you know, we're exposed to toxins today. You know, I've been practicing since 1978, was raised in the 1950s. We didn't deal with then with everything that we're exposed to today. And you know, I made an interesting point about the family. What I've done with research, even with obesity, do you know that children that come from parents that have issues with obesity generally will make less money, will have less of an inheritance. So what we're talking about today is passing on generational blessings. So we could reposition you, our audience, to think different. Let food be your medicine. Let medicine be your food. So this book is not about taking something. This book is about getting smart. You know, in the Word it talks about that things are going to be revealed at the end times. Well, we're going to do some revelation knowledge today.
Right. And when you say we have all kinds of chemicals and our bodies need to be cleansed, what are some of the things that are causing our bodies to have toxicity?
We're overloaded.
With, like what?
I'll give you an example. If you were to look at the basic lotion today, has something in it called sodium lauryl sulfate. That is a known carcinogen. So I'm going to encourage all of you, go to the American Cancer Society website, look at environmental carcinogens, print it out, and start comparing what's on the list to what's in the products.
Wow.
The average female puts 150 different chemicals on their body every day. Lipstick, you don't realize what's in your lipstick. I have several massage therapists that work in our practice. They do something called a lymphatic massage. When a woman comes in, oftentimes they always put lipstick on before they go to a visit because that's just normal routine. Well, after the lymphatic massage, the lipstick is gone because it's been absorbed by their body. So I want you to become aware. See, that's a whole green movement. We're in the middle of green. And that green movement only happened in a short time period. So I need you to become label savvy. And they trick you today with the foods. They all say texturized protein. Monosodium glutamate, for an example, is a toxic substance. If you can't read the label and pronounce the word, don't eat it.
That's good.
Well,
that's good.
I watched recent television advertisement with some major food manufacturer that had a product that they were comparing. One had 13 items, one had 3. Their whole marketing is they bought the package that had 3. Well, I have a patient, and the patient said to me, Dr. Bob, I don't read labels. I thought, oh, this is going to be interesting. Broccoli doesn't have a label on it. Avocados don't have a label on it. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is you want to eat organic food. If your budget allows you to do that. Now, there are certain foods. Now, listen, I'm going to give you a little hint here. You can eat conventional food that has a peel on it. Like avocados, you can get by with not being organic because you can take the peel off. And certain fruits that you can take the peels off. Now, I'm not saying that in general, but if you're going to consume any animal product today, any animal product, and farm-raised fish, by the way, you have to start watching farm-raised fish because they throw color pellets into the water.
Oh,
right.
to change the color of the fish. So I just want you to increase your awareness. And we have just many items here that I thought it'd be good for us to share with your audience today. And I think an area that is so significant, and this is hot in the news, is something called BPA. Bisphenol A is a chemical that is commonly used to line the inside of cans. When they pasteurize canned food, it's intense heat. There is estrogen in the can lining that goes into the food, and over time, it's going to affect your child and your health. So if you have tender breasts and a heavy menstrual flow, but you know what else, ladies, I've noticed? You start noticing people have more and more birthmarks or body spots. Those are a body signal to me that they, in fact, and this is an oil filter, that they, in fact, could have liver congestion. So we're using this oil filter as a liver congestion. If you're watching me right now and you have any kind of skin challenge, whether it be psoriasis, acne, eczema, any skin condition, more than likely your liver is congested from overload. We're exposed to overload in our water. I encourage our patients to drink water from a pure source, and you should drink water from a pure source. It's common knowledge today that the municipal water in the United States is contaminated. Are you ready for this, Marilyn? This is going to really make you upset. From all the pills that have been flushed down everybody's toilets, drugs, prescription medication, that goes through water filter plants that don't know how to handle it. Or let's say that you take prescription medication every day from 5 to 7 and you urinate, not to be disgusting, in the toilet. Well, all those chemicals go into the water and they have been found in the municipal drinking water. So you need to keep your liver. This is a battle. And so what we are encouraging our patients to do is just eat some very simple foods.
Right. And this is a great way, and you talk about this in your detoxification book.
That's right.
How to get rid of some of this stuff that's slowly killing us.
Well, we talk in great detail about the bisphenol A because you might have a sippy cup for your child at home. What you want to do is look at the bottom. You do not want to be consuming foods that from recycle number 7. Now, also because people are living in a laser lane society today, there's microwaved food. Now, I don't choose to use that kind of food. But if you consume microwave food that has a plastic coating on it, that plastic permeates the food. Dental sealants permeate the teeth. You need to become more savvy on what you are allowing to be put in and on your body. Now, dairy items, meat products, they add a lot of chemicals to animals today. So the animals grow up big and strong very quick to go to the marketplace and they can get more out of the animal. If you choose to consume dairy products, which I don't really encourage people to do because it can cause headaches and acne and other issues, but the dairy, ice cream, cottage cheese, and yogurt, and I'm not saying that they're bad foods, but if you already have a compromised liver. So Sarah, what's happening today is that people don't have a pure diet. They are already toxic. So if you have a skin issue, that means you probably have a liver issue. If you have a skin issue and a liver issue or an acne issue and you consume dairy, all I'm asking, go off the dairy for a month. Just for a month. Try it for a month, and I can tell you right now that more than likely your skin will improve. Your skin is the report card. We talk about that in the book as far as how much skin is affected by toxicity.
Now tell me some of the foods that you should eat. Let's do the positive solution to detoxify the body, keep the body where it should be.
Well, I would tell you that probably the most logical thing to do is to eat whole food. Apples, beets, carrots, of course, but broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower. You might say, Dr. Bob, that is so boring. Well, try steaming it. Throw some almonds on it, some shaved almonds on it. You could saute some onions with that, and it's really quite delicious because I know that once you start increasing your palatability for these foods, here's something that you may not know. People who don't like vegetables, are you ready for this? Their body is acid. And when they eat the vegetables, you're putting alkaline in, and their body doesn't like that. Their body wants to be acid. So instead of eating raw vegetables, so you say, Dr. Bob, if I ate a raw carrot, I would get sick. you're probably getting sick because you're acid. So if you steam the vegetables, if you think about a piece of broccoli, it's dull when it's in the raw state. But if you steam it, it becomes vibrant green because the chlorophyll is being released in it. So I encourage half an apple every day. I encourage beets. Now, ladies, this is like nectar.
I love beets, yeah. We both do, yeah,
I like beets.
Positive.
That beet, I believe that the beet is probably one of the most missed ingredients for long-term health because the beet helps keep the liver clean. And those beets were peeled, baked with olive oil and balsamic vinegar. Do you ever think about kale? I don't know if you use kale or not. Kale is a nice, vibrant green. You cut it up, you put some olive oil in it, and you saute that in a pan. Great source of calcium. And I base a lot of what we do in our own family, personal life, on mixed greens. We have mixed green salad, my wife and I and my children, but my wife and I are primarily home, on mixed green salad every day with items like radishes and cucumbers and mushrooms and red pepper and yellow pepper, just trying to increase the color inside of your body. It's an awesome way to have your bowels move properly also, which we can talk about.
Yeah, that's really good. And, you know, I believe people are watching, and in a little bit we want to pray for people with their health and all those things. But you may be watching right now, and there's needs you have in your life. You may be struggling in your relationships. You may be just having a hard time physically. Why don't you hop on the website and leave your prayer request there, or drop us a line in the mail. We want to pray for you because we know that it's good to have knowledge. It's good to combine the power of God with knowledge. So drop us a line in the mail, get on the website. We want to pray for you, and we want to see God do supernatural things in your life, in your body, but also we're excited as well because in a few minutes we're going to come back and talk some more about detoxification.
Dr. Robert DeMaria has been providing and championing alternative health solutions to thousands of patients globally for over 30 years. Once considered counterculture, Dr. Bob's drugless protocols have been receiving positive results in the thousands of patients he has treated. Men, get ready to feel better. In Dr. Bob's latest book, Men's Health, The Basics, you will learn how to stop heart disease, cancer-proof your life, increase your libido without medication, live pain-free, and discover foods that enhance life. Along with Dr. Bob's book, you will receive Marilyn and Sarah's 2-CD teaching, Maximize Your Day God's Way. These exciting CDs are a full week of Today with Marilyn and Sarah on how to make Jesus your first priority as you set goals and plan your daily activities. You'll learn how to become happy and productive for God in the midst of a hectic life full of distractions and to-do lists. Receive Dr. Bob's Men's Health, the basic book, and Marilyn and Sarah's Maximize Your Day God's Way 2-CD set for your gift of $39 or more. Call or click today to receive this very special offer.
Well, I'm so excited because we have Dr. Bob with us, and we're talking today about your drugless guide to detoxification. But what's the deal? How do people know if their bodies are toxic?
You know, it's really a good question because I'm sure that you're watching me right now and say, okay, Dr. Bob, what is going on? Bad breath. The bad breath industry is humongous. Do you know the esophagus, which is the tube that goes from your stomach up to your throat, is kind of like an exhaust pipe. So if you're speaking and always have this foul-smelling breath, you have stagnation in your digestive system. So breath is one. Skin lesions, skin, acne, psoriasis, any type of skin challenge. Foul-smelling stool. Now, foul-smelling stool means when you go to the bathroom and the wallpaper is peeling, that's just a joke, off the toilet area because you're toxic.
Right.
So Headaches could be a sign of toxicity. Constipation promotes toxicity. So you want your bowels moving. You know, whatever you put on the outside of your body, people don't realize this. If you have, whatever you put here gets absorbed into your body. And I have a little rule that I always say that you should always eat God-made versus man-tampered. If you eat a lot of man-tampered, this organ right here in your body, it has to process it. Prescription medications can be a problem for some. Do you know what probably the biggest issue out of all of them is? This is soda pop. If you were to really look at the ingredients in your soda pop, sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate can cause allergies. It's a preservative. Look at phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid creates the bubbles, causes osteoporosis. Let's talk about how do they sweeten soda. You know, God forbid, just the sweetener alone, this is how much sugar is in one soda pop. Without going into too much detail, one white blood cell eats 14 bacteria in a half an hour. So one white blood cell, which is your Pac-Man, eats on friendly bacteria, 14 and a half hours. When you drink a soda pop and there's that much sugar in it, it paralyzes your immune system. Now it only can eat 10. If you happen to have a brownie, it goes down to 5. If you have ice cream, it goes down to 1. So soda pop ramifications are very, very intense. So we have artificial sweeteners today. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. Anything that's artificial, hello, you know, it talks about that in a word about people being sheep and wolves' clothing. Anything artificial is detrimental to the body. So I would consume no sugar substitute, no matter what they tell you. And here's why. And I can say this confidently, because see, when you've been doing it for 30 years and you've seen so much, you can make bold statements. This is trans fat. Trans fat is a part of the low-fat diet. Trans fat causes toxicity. If you're consuming fake oils, fake sugars, this liver has to process it. I would rather have you consume olive oil, flax oil, avocados, good sources of oil, good sources of a sweetener. And this is going to be there's a lot of controversy on stevia because it seems like the sugar industry doesn't want this. I grew this stevia in my backyard.
Wow. Really?
I did. It's a perennial. It grows about 18 inches long. Do you remember back in the good old days there was something called portulacas? It seemed like everybody had portulacas on their porch because all houses had porches. Well, it looks like a portulaca. It's about this long. At the end of the season, you pluck the stevia. You put it in a baking dish. Now, I have a neighbor that has a pilot light in her oven, so I gave her my stevia for a few days. The pilot light was enough to dry it out, and I ground this in my food processor. Stevia is sweet, has a little bit of a bitterness to it, but it's more of a natural, healthier sweetener. We encourage maple syrup. I would encourage honey. Not a lot of honey, because honey really has a lot of sugar in it. Your ultimate goal is not to want anything sweet. You're going to get all the sweetness from the fruit that you're going to be consuming. But you know, I have to share a couple other thoughts that are really, we talk about this in the book. This is a shower dechlorinator. Now, I would assume that most of you watching us have taken a shower within the last 3 days or so. But if you're taking a shower and you're breathing in chlorine gas, it's toxic to a very important gland in your body called the thyroid gland. Bromine, fluorine, and chlorine is toxic to the thyroid gland. I encourage our patients, and we talk about this in great detail, the thyroid's critical for long-term detoxification. Because see, if your thyroid does not have enough iodine, you become constipated. You should have a bowel movement within 2 or 3 hours after eating. If you're sitting there on your couch right now and you haven't had a bowel movement in 2 or 3 days, you better start eating Dr. Bob's ABCs. You better start drinking water. And I'm not trying to threaten you. You better stop drinking soda pop. We use these shower dechlorinators to take the chlorine out of shower water. You may need more iodine, but bromine, fluorine, and chlorine is antagonistic to iodine. A good source of iodine, kelp, sea vegetables, Celtic sea salt. The thyroid gland, the liver, and the colon. You want all those functioning optimally. You know, this is kind of like a joke. We would not think about pouring this on us to take a shower or a bath. We would use water. So whatever you put on the outside of your body, okay, it's going to be absorbed in your body. Whatever you put on the inside of your body is going to be absorbed also. So you have to be really logical what you put on and inside of you. On is
Name those 3 parts of the body again that are so important for this.
The thyroid gland. You need iodine. Bromine, fluorine, and chlorine are antagonistic. And I want to insert this one. White bread has bromine in it. Certain sodas have it. Hot tubs and pools. And I'm not saying not to use those. But I take 12 milligrams of iodine myself every day. Your colon. You want to have a bowel movement within 2 or 3 hours after eating. If you ate today and you did not have a bowel movement for 3 days, that is a promotion for disaster. More water, more vegetables. And finally, ladies, this is the most important organ of all. This is your liver. We talked about the apples. We've talked about beets. We talked about carrots. I don't want you to get cancer. Cancer cells love a toxic environment. I want you to become more alkaline. Alkaline is like baking soda. Baking soda promotes health. Not baking soda itself, but alkaline food. Acid is not healthy. You could have toxic stress due to your emotions. If you have anger, you're going to be toxic. If you have love, you're going to be happy and healthy. Haven't you ever gone into the room that you could slice the air with a knife?
Yes.
There's anger, emotions. Anger can stop your liver from functioning. How many people have you know have been through great distress later to come out that they had cancer? Maybe they went through a divorce, financial challenge. Then they had, because stress can magnify itself in your liver. Melancholy actually means black bile. Bile comes from your liver. Pretty fascinating, isn't it?
Is that?
So when the Lord put this whole body together, it all started in the garden. I need to share this with you. Always eat food from seed-bearing plants. Living food.
That is so good. And I'm thinking as you see this today, some of you out there are really hurting. I mean, you're hurting big time. And I want to encourage you to get on our website and leave those needs with us. If you're angry, if you're bitter, if you feel like you're depressed, melancholy, whatever, get on the website and say, you know, I want you to pray for me. I need you to pray for me. Because, folks, we think it's impossible. Nothing is impossible with God. You say, well, I can't get on the website. Come on. But you can write a letter to us, and it gives us the opportunity to pray and get God into your circumstance, God into your situation, and nothing, I mean, nothing is impossible with God. We need to pray for you. You don't need to sit there and be wretched and miserable and think everything is falling apart and what's the use? Hey, folks, you tuned into this program. God had a purpose. He wanted you to see what you could eat, how you could take care of your body, but He also wanted you to get prayer. So we expect to hear from you. We're going to pray for you. We're going to believe for your miracle. Dr. Bob, you are wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
such a blessing.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I know that all of you have been blessed today. And you say, hey, I want to take care of this body. God gave me this body. Is that right? That's what He said. It's a temple. And I want to treat it like it's God's temple.
Dr. Robert DeMaria has been providing and championing alternative health solutions to thousands of patients globally for over 30 years. Once considered counterculture, Dr. Bob's drugless protocols have been receiving positive results in the thousands of patients he has treated. Men, get ready to feel better. In Dr. Bob's latest book, Men's Health, The Basics, you will learn how to stop heart disease, cancer-proof your life, increase your libido without medication, live pain-free, and discover foods that enhance life. Along with Dr. Bob's book, you'll receive Marilyn and Sarah's 2-CD teaching, Maximize Your Day God's Way. These exciting CDs are a full week of Today with Marilyn and Sarah on how to make Jesus your first priority as you set goals and plan your daily activities. You'll learn how to become happy and productive for God in the midst of a hectic life full of distractions and to-do lists. Receive Dr. Bob's Men's Health, the basic book, and Marilyn and Sarah's Maximize Your Day God's Way 2-CD set for your gift of $39 or more. Call or click today to receive this very special offer.
Is the bread of the children. That's what Jesus said. And when we really read the Gospels, we see that Jesus not only died for our sins, but he also took our sicknesses. And by his stripes, we are healed. Today, you may be hurting in your body. You may have afflictions, who knows what kinds. Maybe arthritis. Maybe you've inherited physical weaknesses. Maybe you have eye problems, ear problems, diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Who knows what you might have? But Jesus wants you whole. And when you read New Testament, it always is constantly saying that you would be made whole. And Paul identifies it: spirit, soul, and body. So Jesus not only wants to come into your heart to make you whole in your spirit, but also whole in your mind, your emotions, and in your physical body. And I want to pray with you the promise. And I'm going to use Psalm 107:20. I love this scripture. I use it on television. I use it in healing crusades. I use it on one-to-one, and it works, it works, it works. It's Psalm 107:20. It says, he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from all their destructions. So put your hand on top of your head, because you may have more than one. And we're going to send the word. Father, in the name of Jesus, I send the word into this body that heals it and delivers it from every destruction the devil has planned for it. In Jesus' name, I speak to you and I say, be whole. Receive your healing. Look for your healing. Don't look for your sickness, and thank him for it.